Alrighty guys, so today I have this amazing Japanese croquette recipe for you guys, and it's nice and light and crispy and coated with panko breadcrumbs, so it's super flavorful, and we're actually going to try this recipe baked and then also fried, so I'm sure that you guys will love it. So here goes. So I'm actually going to start off with 1 tablespoon of earth balance here, and that'll just provide like a nice lovely butter backdrop for the potatoes that we're going to add. So a pretty easy recipe. I have half of an onion and then maybe about like 1 carrot chopped into small pieces. You want to have it be kind of small enough so that you can form them into croquettes and they're still a nice size while you eat. Okay, so after the onions and carrots soften just a bit, I'm going to add about 1 cup of these Gardein beef crumbles, and you guys can choose to use TVP or even like beans would actually work in this recipe as well. So I'm actually just cooking it down just until everything softens and all of the flavors mesh. It should just be really about 2 minutes since everything is cooked. So on the side here, I have 2 potatoes that I've actually baked earlier, and I've mashed them with a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and after I finish mashing them, I'm just gonna put in the rest of the ingredients. If you happen to find the potatoes a little bit dry, you can definitely cheat and maybe put in a little bit of water or even a little bit of coconut cream just to make it a little bit easier to form these croquettes. So you can see that I'm just making them big enough until it fits into the palms of my hands. I find that that's a good size either for finger food or just having it be a little bit more substantial than, a very small piece of, chicken nugget or whatnot. So now time for the dipping. So I have about a half a cup of potato starch. This is 1 cup of panko. And with the potato starch, I'm actually going to mix it with about a 1/4 cup of water. You guys can choose to use cornstarch if you have it. And basically, this is gonna be my egg substitute. It's going to kind of help bind the croquettes to the panko breadcrumbs. So I'm sure all of the Italian grandmas know this trick, but I always have 1 hand that goes into the wet mixture and dips the croquette into the actual cornstarch mixture, and then a dry hand so that I can use that to roll the croquettes around in the panko mixture, and then that way you don't have both hands being too dirty. Okay, so here is what I am actually going to do here. Half of these guys are going to be baked, and then half of these guys are going into the fryer. So for my baked ones, I'm going to put it into the oven, 400 degrees, and I'm going to spray these guys down with some light cooking spray, and I find that this is the best way to keep them from getting too oily. 10 minutes each side. I'm going to do 10 minutes, flip them around, and then spray them again, and then do 10 minutes again, and that should be good. So for my fried batch, I have the oil at about 350 degrees, and you want the oil to be hot enough because otherwise the croquettes end up soaking in all of that oil. And I'm just gonna put them in, I would say about 2 minutes each side, but what you're really looking for is just that nice golden brown color. So yeah, just be sure to drain these guys on a paper towel fairly well and just let them cool before eating. I will say that the fried croquettes are definitely lighter and more of a crispy feel, whereas you have the baked ones, they're still really crispy as well, but it's more of that like drier, kind of like harder crispy. It's still good, and you don't get necessarily the color that you would if you fried it, but it is still crispy and you don't have to deal with all of that grease. So here they are, baked and fried all together, and both of them are actually super crispy. And the best ways to eat them, I mean, usually the Japanese will have some kind of like a cabbage slaw on the side, and then you just kind of dip it into tonkatsu sauce, which is, I'd say, kind of like this vinegary barbecue sauce if you guys don't have it. And just all of the flavors are so amazing. Like, it's crispy, it's crunchy, and it's also very filling and satisfying as well, because you can see all those like little meat bits in there, and it's just filled with all of this really good stuff. So definitely a really fun recipe to make. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this recipe and that you'll decide making it. As usual, if you want to see more recipes like this, remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye!